Hi. Well, since there's no sports to be doing funny videos of, I decided since there's a pandemic going on, some of you might need some other information. So, this isn't going to be funny. This is going to be very serious and religious. A lot of you don't know this, but I have let's say a sixth sense. I can sense spirits and demons and angels, and I've been given lots of information by angels, and maybe I should share it with you guys. But that'll take some time for me to open that up. So, just a little bit about myself for those that don't know. I'm a disabled veteran. I was a paratrooper in the U.S. Army, 82nd Airborne Division for 18 years. Then I got out and married my wife and had a couple kids, and now she's wanting a divorce, but I'm hoping she'll change her mind because I love her very much. And I don't know why she's doing this. We've had some rough times because I have PTSD and she has a bad anger, so it doesn't go well. But I've been working on myself to get better at dealing with it, and I don't know why she doesn't see that, because the whole time I was getting better at it. So hopefully those of you that know her, maybe talk to her and say, hey, the right thing to do is stay a family for our children. And I love her very much, and I think she still has some love for me. She's not showing it very much right now, but that's another story. Anyways, yeah, my whole life I've always seen and heard and smelled spirits. And yeah, that sounds funny, but sometimes that's how they let you know that they're there, when you smell something that's out of the ordinary. At our house, there was a group of spirits that were there because of their cemetery, which was basically in our backyard before the state moved it. You could tell the matriarch of the family, she had a scent of roses, and it was her perfume. Whenever she was around, you would smell it. And we don't have roses in our house or around our house, so it was out of the blue, you would smell it. And my wife, she smelled it too, and she was always kind of reluctant to believe that I sense spirits and that they come around me. But one time we were in our living room, and our house, the living room and the kitchen and the dining room are all one big room, but has a L-shaped island where the sink and dishwasher stuff are, that separate the room. And we were all in the living room, and our daughter was just a baby, and our son wasn't able to talk yet. And I was playing with my daughter and talking to her, and out of the blue, from the kitchen behind us, you hear a little girl say, "Daddy." And my wife heard it too, and it freaked her out. The dogs barked at it because it was, a disembodied voice. And she didn't believe that it was just a spirit at first, but she eventually realized that's what it was. And now she believes, and it's one of those things. One thing that I've noticed about it is whenever I drive by a old battlefield like Civil War or Revolutionary War, I will always have spirits following me. And one thing that I was told about that by angels was it's because I have, well, first off, the reason why I have the ability is because I've always believed in God my whole life. I grew up in a Lutheran family, so that didn't hurt that, but I don't remember not believing in God. And because I have such a strong faith, and I'm a soldier, a lot of the soldiers, they were taught that, if you kill, you're going to go to hell. And that's just not the case with soldiers. Soldiers, it's their duty, and they're told to go somewhere. And it's kill or be killed. So God doesn't look at that like murder. You didn't have a maliciousness in your heart when you did it. You had to kill them or they'd kill you. That's not murder. So a lot of them, they've been there for so long, just worried about crossing over because they're afraid they were going to hell. But they follow me and ask me questions, and I answer them and get them to cross over, because that's the way it is. Like, they can still go to heaven even though they had to kill somebody at war. I had to kill people at war, and I know I'm going to heaven. So that helps them to cross over, and that's why God, gives me this ability. And sometimes it's unnerving because it can be bothersome, but especially when it's a malevolent spirit, a spirit that doesn't want to cross over because they are an evil person, and they want to scare people, because there are spirits like that. And it happens, but most of the time they just don't know what to do. Sometimes family isn't able to come down and show them the way, so, because that's what happens a lot. When my grandmother died, my grandfather was right over top of us waiting for her to pass, to bring her. I could sense that. I think a lot of my family has that, where they can sense them. It's just not as strong with them all, because most of us knew. I have an aunt that I'm really close to, that she senses stuff too, but she doesn't talk about it much. So I mean, I don't talk about it much, but I understand it, So another thing that I like to make sure people know is gay people. Gay people have been told that they can't get into heaven because they don't procreate, and that's just not the case. God, he made us, and he knows that there's things that are different about every person, and it's okay. Those are guidelines to live by, as long as you're not malicious about any of them. You're okay. Telling them a little white lie isn't going to put you in hell, but if you base your life on lies, it's not going to be easy for you, that's for sure. So it's just one of those things that religion has gotten wrong. They tell people that because they want them to be right, and that's being right is one of the funny things about it. Is even in scripture, that's what it says. Like in the story of Noah, a lot of people just follow the 2x2, right? But it was actually, he was told to bring 2 that were right. And what being right meant was that they were a mated pair, so that they could procreate once they get to solid land, so they can reproduce and make more of each of the animals. Because God knew that there's animals that are gay. It's a natural thing. It happens. It's not anything that's going to put you in hell. But a lot of religions preach that, and that's wrong. There's a lot of religion. Just about all religions have things that they preach that's wrong, because they learned from someone else, and one person had it wrong, and they teach it to someone else, and it just keeps going and going and going. So things just get taught wrong sometimes. And if you want to really know what's right, then you really need to get into the scripture. And realistically, it's all open to interpretation, as long as you know that God is real, and you need to have a relationship with him, believe in him, and trust in him. It's real, whether you want to believe it or not, and you really ought to believe it, because in times like this, you never know. You might come down with this virus, and it might be your time. And if you're not right with God, then what are you going to do? You're going to roam around this earth, come bugging me? Please don't. But if you need guidance, that's what I'm here for. So anyways, I'm going to end this one here. And I will try to get to better locations for future videos. Right now it's just a trial thing. So now, if you want to hear some of the real crazy stuff that you won't learn in churches, there's a few things that I know that might surprise you. But the biggest ones I'm not going to tell you until I get more subscribers. So share this and tell people, follow my YouTube channel, and when I get enough subscribers, then I'll start telling you some of that stuff. Okay? Well, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, say your prayers, and God bless.